Hey everyone, it's Jocelyn, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to another video. My sister's birthday was just a few days ago, and for her birthday she requested that I make a Sailor Moon wand. So huge shout out to the Elko Engineering Garage, which is my workplace. It's the coolest place ever, I love it so much and I love the people so much, and I'm so grateful that I have access to all these cool machines. For this project, I'm using an industrial FDM 3D printer, and FDM 3D printing is basically like a really fancy hot glue gun. So the filament will be fed through a nozzle, and that nozzle will melt that filament and move it back and forth layer by layer until it forms the object that you want to make. So in these clips, my supervisor Aaron is teaching me how to load the filament and how to use GrabCAD to prepare our files for 3D printing. I got this model off of a website called Thingiverse, and Thingiverse is a place where makers can share their designs, so you can use them for free. So now let's go back to the actual machine itself. This machine is an industrial machine, meaning that it has more capabilities than the desktop 3D printers that you might have seen from my last video. The biggest advantage that this printer has over the desktop printers is that it has a larger build plate, so you're able to build much bigger things and in much less time compared to the desktop versions. After loading the filament and preparing the files, I simply had to press go and let the machine do its thing. This print took between 4 to 5 hours, and I don't remember exactly the specific time that it took, but it was somewhere in that range. After the print was done, we took out the build plate and used brute force to pry off the printed objects. The handle of the wand came out with a lot of support material on the inside. So support material is basically just extra material that gets printed out to make sure that the object doesn't fall apart while it's being printed. To get rid of that support material, I had to put it in a solution tank. This particular tank has sodium hydroxide in it, which is very basic and very, very bad for you if you come into contact with it. It's a strong base, so it can cause some serious chemical burns, and for that reason, I had to put on some very specific personal protective equipment. Using the support tanks is a really cool process because the solution basically just dissolves the support material, so you don't have to worry about scraping it off or prying it off. I let the handle of the wand soak in the support tank removal bath for about 12 hours overnight, and after that I transferred it over to a water bath and let it soak in the water for about an hour. After it was done soaking in both tanks, I transferred it over to the fume hood and I let it air dry for approximately 8 hours. I want to take a moment to thank my supervisor Aaron, who taught me how to use the industrial FDM 3D printer. And I also want to thank Sam, who is the Makerspace EIT. She is the one who taught me how to safely use the support removal tanks, and I'm super grateful that I had her supervising me throughout this process because I nearly forgot to put on a piece of protective equipment. So shout out to both of those people, and thank you so much for always looking out for me and looking out for my well-being. The last step was to remove the handle from the fume hood and to assemble all of the pieces. For the assembly, I used Gorilla Glue, which took quite a bit of time because the glue wouldn't dry fast enough. And I also got a bit of my nitrile glove stuck to the part, so I definitely have to sand that down. But that's pretty much it for the build, and on March 3rd I presented this gift to my sister and she really likes it. One of the things that I'm working on is making a stand for this wand, so then my sister can show it off in the background of her Zoom meetings. And I think another potential improvement would be to print out the pieces in different colors. then I wouldn't have to worry about painting it. But I honestly think that it looks super cool just the way it is, and I'm really glad that my sister likes it. That's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to share my process in making this gift. And if you want to see more videos in the future, please consider subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment down below, like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.